The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of a Nephilim. UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. And that's why we do this program as often as possible. Something happened over the weekend, and I'll get to that in just a minute. Basically, Michio Kaku, surprise, surprise, on Tucker Carlson, talking about this unbelievable radio signal coming from space that's going to light up the whole entire universe. Very interesting stuff. We'll get into that and so much more. But first, a word from our sponsor, our trusted friends at Noble Gold. You know, now with inflation at 8.5% and possibly higher in the near future, don't you think you need to be smart with your money? You need it to grow, not to shrink. You need financial freedom, not debt. Folks, start with a gold IRA with Noble Gold now, and you'll be safe. This month, for every cash deal above $20,000, you'll get an incredible 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin, completely free as a thank you. You know, you can't go wrong with Noble Gold, and I'm not telling you to do anything that I'm not doing myself. When I get back to California, I am going to invest some of our money in Noble Gold. Going to do it, because look what's going on. We are trillions of dollars in debt. We're talking about the Great Reset and all this other stuff, entering a bear market in the stock exchange. Folks, check it out, noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com, 877-646-5347. That's once again, 877-646-5347. Call now, folks, and find out more by going to noblegoldinvestments.com. So, Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Michio Kaku on Tucker Carlson. And of course, the truth is out there. We get that from the X-Files. So we're kind of using that because most of us have grown up with the X-Files, or certainly the 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds are definitely into the X-Files. Not so much guys like me who are another generation removed. But I love the X-Files when it came out. And their moniker was "The Truth is Out There." Why Tucker Carlson? Because Tucker Carlson is a conservative, for the most part, Christian news outlet. They have a Judeo-Christian overview, which is why they're, you know, pro-life and pro-Christmas and all that. But I digress. So he's got Michio Kaku, and notice they run the same people over and over and over again. God forbid we let anybody new in there, someone like me, who may actually have some answers to what the phenomenon is. So Kaku's talking about, and this guy's amazing. I mean, you gotta love Michio. Scientists have detected radio signals from space, and of course we have this. In other words, this idea of mysterious signals from space was picked up by other news outlets. So look, folks, it's a managed agenda in my opinion. What do I mean by that? Let me explain, and thank you for asking. Basically what's happening is this: they're rolling this stuff out to see what people do, and this is why it's always on Tucker Carlson for the most part. Not always, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of the times Tucker will break a story like he did with the 2 butchers on the cattle mutilation. So are we on, right now we're on the 9th rung of the ladder of disclosure. I look at this as interesting, but it's not another rung. Not another rung. However, let's check this out. NASA wants to do its own research on UFOs. And of course, once again, Fox Nation, not Tucker, but Kennedy. Why is it there? Because once again, Christian conservatives watch Fox and they want to see what the reaction is. And the reaction, for the most part, is completely flatlined. Shame on us for not reacting to it. I react to it, which is why you folks come here, and I thank you for that. Because we have a following of about 155,000 people, and it's growing. And by the way, click the subscribe button if you have not done so. We're trying to get up over 200,000 people before the end of the year. I think we can meet that goal. I think it's a realistic goal. Anyway, so Kennedy, once again shows the tic-tac shaped UFO and other UFO footage from shot by F-18 pilots. That's in the gun sights. That's why you see the crosshairs and all this stuff. So who does she have on? Alejandro Rojas, UAP researcher, which is great. Okay, and he's talking about the Pentagon and the idea that NASA is not part of the Pentagon, so NASA is going to conduct their own investigation of the UAP phenomenon. It's such doublespeak in my opinion. Number one, in my opinion, NASA knows exactly who it is and what it is that they're dealing with. Same thing with the Pentagon. So what we see is a typical spin to see what the public will do. There's a lot of ambivalence from the public. The public really doesn't care, doesn't give two hoots about it. But here's another shot, and you know what? They're rolling this out. And we do ourselves a disservice not to understand the times in which we live. If they finally show up, and there's a saying I coined a few years back, we go up, they show up. We go up, they come down. We go up, they come down. That may be exactly what happens. In other words, the rapture of the church, and I know some of you are just so anti-rapture, get a clue, will you please? It's unbelievable. You really want to stay here for the tribulation? God's wrath? Are you out of your mind? Seriously? No thanks. Not doing it. So here's the deal. I truly believe that we go up and then they come down. Something is holding the great deception back. There's no doubt about that. Why don't they just appear over the cities of the world? I truly believe that the Pentagon has been in cahoots with these guys for decades. How do I say that? Why do I say that? Bob Lazar, Area 51, talked about that. Decades ago, in the 90s, he broke the story that the United States government had at Area 51, Papoose Lake, S4, the whole complex, in their possession, off-road vehicles not made on this earth. The Pentagon stated that a couple years back. That was rung number 4 on the ladder of disclosure. We have in our possession off-road vehicles not made on this earth. So no one does anything. I mean, you would think that the press would be storming the Bastille, figurative of speech, of course, and saying, hey, where are these off-road vehicles made, pray tell? And more importantly, who the heck is making them? Nothing happens, which is maddening in my opinion. So they're rolling it out, and here's another shot. Mysterious lights around the U.S. warships caused by drones? No. Nonsense, never cover story. Swamp gas. It's always swamp gas. It's the planet Venus reflecting in a down weather balloon that got tangled up in a flock of geese over some swamp gas. It's like, what? Really? Really? They just make stuff up. And they're never straight with the public, but I'll tell you what's going on. Absolutely tell you what's going on. That's what's going on. You want to know more about that? You can watch it. This is the UFO flap that happened in Kumburgaz, Turkey, 2009. We broke the story. Dr. Roger allowed us to use the film that he shot. He hired a cameraman and out they went, and they filmed this thing for hours, 4 hours. In my opinion, not only does it show what the craft looks like up close and personal, it shows the entities inside the craft. So here's the deal. You want to see that? If you open up the text box right below, it'll say UFO disclosure free film. That clip of the UFO, the Kumburgaz UFO as we call it, is towards the end. You'll see it. Part 2 is also up there for free. Part 3 we're working on. Hope to have it done and out and up and running by the end of July. We'll see what happens. Anyway, folks, UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. Time to wake up and understand that this is the coming great deception and the Luciferian endgame. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, signing off from an undisclosed location somewhere on the windswept plains of Oklahoma. By the way, if you're interested, and I pray to God that you are, you can download all 7 of our Armor Trail of the NEPHILIM series by going to streaming.lamarzulli.net. That's streaming.lamarzulli.net. What are you waiting for? Okay? We'll see you back here tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens. It all depends on where we are, what we are, and how things go when we arrive at the site. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air.